Welcome to the Habitual Woman Podcast with yours truly, Dabrina Wright. I'm a holistic, habit-based lifestyle coach, nutrition educator, and fitness trainer. This is a show about transforming habits into a lifestyle. We will introduce and reintroduce habits, as well as have a conversation with women about the habits and the rituals they use to live the life that they deserve. Now let's get into today's show. Welcome to episode number 3, Stronger to the Core. This is what we're going to talk about, getting the core you've always wanted. So welcome to my free 5-day Stronger to the Core challenge. I'm so happy you're here. Your core works hard 24/7 to keep your body balanced and aligned. But often, our daily lives conspire against it and make our core's job even harder. So I want you to sign up today, because over the next 5 days, I'll be taking a 360-degree approach that will help balance and strengthen your core from every direction. So this is how that challenge is set up. First, you're going to learn how to engage your core. It might be different than you think. Then you're going to learn the number one thing you can do to make your core stronger and more balanced. Hint, it is not doing endless crunches and ab exercises. Finally, I'm going to incorporate targeted exercises to help you sculpt a strong core. Each day during the challenge, you'll complete your action list of core strengthening activities. I want you to use your worksheets to track your progress and your success. Also, you're going to be receiving daily emails packed with tips, motivation, and inspiration. So please keep an eye on that inbox. And in the meantime, let's get started. So what exactly is your core? Your core is far more than just your ab muscles. It also includes your spine, pelvic girdle, abdomen, and hip joints. Some definitions even include your lat, that's the upper back muscles. Plus, your shoulders and chest play a role in your core stability and strength. That means it's helpful to think of your entire trunk as the host of your core muscles. When all of these muscles are aligned and working together, your core is stable and strong. And when your core is stable, your entire body benefits. You're stronger, more balanced, and can generate more power when needed, helping to prevent injuries and falls. But when your muscles are out of balance, it can lead to instability and core weakness, contributing to pain, lack of flexibility, and injuries. So here's an example. If you sit hunched over a computer for hours a day at work, it can cause your chest, shoulder, abdominal, and hip flexor muscles to become short, tight, and activated, while your back and glute muscles lengthen and become a little less active. So you can see how it would take a very long time for this to affect your stability and the strength of your core. So here's your 3-step plan. 1, becoming core aware. So here's a pre-challenge exercise to help you connect to your core. It'll help you activate and isolate your deepest layer of abdominal muscles called the transverse abdominis muscles. That's TBA. These muscles run between your ribs and your pelvis. They're horizontal from front to back. When they're activated, they form a natural girdle around your internal organs and your lower spine supporting them. They help to stabilize your spine while you use your arms and legs. This simple exercise helps build awareness of those muscles and also learn how to feel, or actually how it feels when you engage them. So here's a little note. Your posture and alignment are very important during this exercise. So try to do it near a mirror where you can take a little sneak at yourself, or take a video using your phone so you can check if there's any alignment issues. So this is how you're going to do it. 1, I want you to kneel on the floor on all fours in a tabletop position. Your hands should be underneath your shoulders and your knees directly below your hips. Make sure your back is straight and your head is in line with your spine. Your chin should be slightly tucked. Next, from here, keep the rest of your body still as you pull in the area just below your belly button so that it moves closer to your spine. It can be helpful to visualize, zipping up a pair of tight-ass jeans. Next, make sure to breathe and then hold this position for 15 seconds. And then I want you to relax. Do this 5 to 8 times. So you might feel some muscles, including your neck, shift and try to compensate for this drawing in position. Do your best to keep everything aligned while still breathing and relax. The drawing in feeling is what it means to engage your abs. So here's another tip. You don't have to kneel on the floor every time you want to engage your abs, but this exercise is one of the best ways to feel them in action. So now that you know how it feels, you can practice core engagement while standing or sitting. 2, I want you to check your posture. Yeah, it's time for the posture police to come out. So without question, how you stand, walk, sit, sleep, and move every day and every night will give you the biggest results in creating a stronger and aligned core. Good posture does not mean holding your body stiff with rigid shoulders and a fully braced core. Instead, it's about having core muscles that are strong enough to hold your spine and aligned with the relaxed. Yes, it is possible. You can be in alignment while relaxed. This is important because poor posture doesn't only cause aches and pains, but it can affect long-term health of your spine and joint, and it even plays a role in your breathing and digestion. Think about it when you're sitting or you're in certain positions, how your food don't go down quite too well. All of a sudden you got what's that? Heartburn or indigestion. This is all in regards to how your posture can be. So what is good posture? There's actually 2 kinds of posture. Dynamic posture is how you hold your body when you're moving. So when you're walking or doing chores or exercising and so forth. Static posture is how you hold your body when you're not moving. So this is when you're sleeping, sitting, or standing. But both matters. Your spine is the key to your posture. It has 3 natural curves at your neck, your mid back, and your low back. Your head should be above your shoulders. The top of your shoulders should be over your hips. Good posture keeps these curves at their perfect angles. So here's some quick tips to help you improve your posture. So when you're standing, make sure your shoulders are back, stacked over your hips. Ab muscles are engaged. Your knees should be soft, not locked. Hips are in a neutral position, not tipped back, sticking out your ass, or curled under. Head is level. Arms are hanging down naturally at your sides, and your feet are like shoulder width apart. When you're sitting, your chair should support your back. Use a pillow if your chair doesn't have a backrest that supports the natural curve in your lower back. It should also support your thighs and hips. You should have a padded seat, and when you sit, your thighs and hips should be parallel to the floor, and your feet should be touching the floor. If your chair or your desk is too tall for you, get a footrest and put that under your feet. I like the ones with like the little massaging beads because then you can kind of rub your feet while you're sitting there. Feels good, release good hormones. I'm just saying, Amazon got good stuff. You heard that, Amazon. Holler at your girl. Another one, keep your shoulders relaxed. Make sure they aren't rounded forward or pulled back. Also, this may be surprising, but avoid crossing your legs. Also, switch sitting positions to avoid muscle tension. Take brief walks every hour. And also, if you can, and you should, gently stretch your muscles every hour or so to help relieve muscle tension. Let's keep it nice and relaxed. So here's 5 surprising enemies of your posture and actually your core. And actually kind of may not be so surprising. The first one, your phone. Yes, let me say that again. An enemy of your posture and your core is your phone. There's actually a thing called text neck, and it's caused by looking down at your phone. It can add as much as 60 pounds load on your cervical spine. As you might guess, that can lead to a major misalignment in your neck muscles, which also has a ripple effect through your entire core. So a fix for that, look at your phone both less often and for shorter lengths of time. And when you do look at it, be mindful of how your head is positioned. Number 2, driving. Proper posture when driving is doubly important because not only can slouching or sitting too upright behind the wheel affect your core, it's kind of a safety issue. Research shows that when you're poorly positioned in your vehicle during an accident, guess what? You're at higher risk of a more serious injury. If at all possible, when you're seated behind the wheel, your knees should be slightly lower than your hips. Also, make sure your lower back is supported, and then use lumbar support or a lumbar pillow if necessary. Plus, the seat back shouldn't be straight up and down. Instead, it should lean back slightly to put the least pressure on your neck and back. If you're driving, please don't try to play with this right now. Wait till you're parked and adjust accordingly. But do recognize and notice, because a lot of us like me, I listen to podcasts while I'm driving. So do take note of that and feel the difference. Also, your chest should be as far back from the steering wheel as possible while still allowing you to easily reach the pedals. Don't eat the freaking steering wheel. Not to mention, I don't care. You look funny. I said that. I've tried it. I looked funny. Number 3, sleeping. What I want you to do is spend as much, think about, let me see. When you're in positions, like when you're curled up or in a tight ball, it tenses you up. And so this can cause aches and pains. So try to make sure your body is fully supported. So use like a pillow beneath or between your knees to keep your hips and spine aligned, and make sure your head isn't propped up on like all those extra pillows. Try to remain loose and relaxed. A little tip, and it's one of those things I even talked with my cousin. Pregnancy taught me a lot. And those pregnancy pillows, putting that around your body to help support you. You don't got to be pregnant to use that. It feels good. Pillow between your knees. Again, it feels so great because then you can feel the difference in the alignment of your back while you're in that position. So another surprising enemy, but I don't think it really should be surprising, carrying bags or a purse. I am so guilty of this, and I've noticed it. So did you know that the average purse being toted around by a woman weighs about 6 pounds? We got a lot of stuff in there. And also, many of us carry totes that weigh double or triple that amount. So over time, lugging around a heavy bag around can affect your posture, especially if you carry it on one side. So I want you to kind of notice something. If you have a habit of carrying your bag or backpack or tote or purse on one side, and that's just where you rock it, right? Look at your posture in the mirror and see if one shoulder is slightly lower than the other. If it is, this is why. It's because of this pressure and this weight over time of carrying these bags and purses on that one particular shoulder. So to help with that, one, downsize your bag, and also make it a point to switch sides when you're carrying it. Try to keep the balance there. And then number 5, stress. When people get stressed, we go into like protective mode, right? So which means we start hunching up our shoulders and we're folding them inward, and it leads to tightness and even more stress, which also makes it harder to breathe. So we also can tighten through our hip, contributing to back pain. Another thing note is stress can be harbored for women in their hips. So definitely that affects posture, that affects aches, injuries, and lower back pain. So here's a tip. Do a quick stress check a few times a day and take 3 to 4 long, deep, calming breaths to expand your chest and exhale all the negativity away. Sounds like a plan? Cool. All right. So another thing, the next topic, I want to talk about strengthening your core. So here's some actual core exercises. Again, the drawing in maneuver. So this is the exercise I explained to you earlier. This is to help you feel your core engaged. And then each core strengthening session should begin with this move. So it's kind of like your ab warm up. Definitely work on the drawing method. Again, think about zipping up them tight jeans and just breathe in, breathe out, flex it in. When you bring it in, remember, hold for 15 seconds and try to repeat this 5 to 8 times. All right, another core exercise, plank. You gotta love it. It's kind of a love and hate relationship, but please love it. So how to do a plank. Lying on your belly on the floor, place your elbows on the floor directly under your shoulders. with your forearms on the ground. So from here, I want you to pop up on your knees and then lift them up to the floor into a plank position. Your body should be in a straight line from heels to the top of your head. Engage your core, as well as your glutes and your quads. That's the front of your thighs. Double check that your head isn't aligned. Your eye gaze should go to a spot between your hands and make sure you're not pressing up through your back. Your shoulder blades should be lightly drawn together to avoid hunching. Don't forget to breathe. If you can, hold this position for 30 seconds. Another great exercise, it's called bridge. For this one, I want you to lie on your back with your hands at your sides. Your palms are going to be facing up toward the ceiling. Your knees should be bent and your feet flat on the floor, close to your butt and under your knees. Engage your ab and glute muscles and then push your lower back into the floor. Then press your hips up. You should have a straight line from your knees to your hips to your shoulders. Keep your core and your glutes engaged and hold this for 2 to 3 seconds before you lower, and then repeat 8 to 10 times. So you're going to come up, hold, come down, come up, hold, and come down. Okay? Another one is the bird dog. I don't know for what reason. This is one of my favorite exercises. So what you're going to do is you're going to kneel with your knees, hip width apart, and your hands flat on the ground under your shoulders. With your core engaged, I want you to engage your core doing the drawing in maneuver. So maintaining a neutral spine with your abs engaged, now I want you to reach your right arm straight in front of you while extending the opposite leg, your left leg, behind you. Think long, not high. So pull the leg out, not high up. And this is when you're lifting the arm and the leg. If you find your back starts to sag or your hips rotate, only lift your leg as high as you can while still, again, keeping good posture. That's what this is all about, good posture and strong abs, right? So when you do it, hold for 2 to 3 seconds, then return to starting position, and then alternate using the same movements, smooth and fluid. Repeat this for a total of 5 times on each side. Last one, side planks. So this one, I want you to lie on your right side, your legs extended in a straight line from your hips. The top leg is stacked on top of your bottom leg. Place your right elbow directly under your right shoulder. Engage your ab muscles, okay? So drawing in your belly button towards your spine. Then lift your hip and knees from the mat, holding your torso in a straight line. Hold this for 15 to 20 seconds, and then repeat on the other side. So here's a note. If you notice that your body is bending forward or your hip is sagging, bend the bottom knee at a 90 degrees angle to give your body some more support. So if you can't be on both legs straight out, then go ahead, tuck in that bottom leg and help you to get to that point where you can hold this position for 15 to 20 seconds. So again, I want to say a stronger core equals a stronger body. I hope that this episode helps you build a stronger you. Over time, you'll notice even more improvement, not just in the strength and fitness, but in your energy levels and even in your aches and pains. I firmly believe a holistic approach is the best way when it comes to creating a healthy lifestyle that you can maintain. So to get the challenge, the guidebook, and the worksheets, please go to the show notes or go to thehabitualwomanpodcast.com, sign up there. And then also, please don't forget to check out the members only area, and I'll see you on the inside. Thank you for joining me on this week's episode of the Habitual Woman Podcast. Please take a moment, if you enjoyed the show, to share with your family and friends, and please leave a review. To learn more about the podcast and our community, you can go to thehabitualwomanpodcast.com. And until next time, this is Debrina Wright, your habitual coach, transforming habits into a lifestyle.